Hi, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions.
On this edition, we're going to be listening to Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra.
We've listened to this song way more than 1,000 times, thousands and thousands of times.
I mean, it's one of my favorite songs of all time.
One of my favorite songs of all time. One of the first albums I bought in high school, actually. Which is off the Out of the Blue album.
But before we listen, as usual, Nicky would like to remind you of something.
Yes, I'd like to remind you that we have another channel called Max and Nicky, on which we perform oldies, tunes, jazz standards, and originals in that vein. And we also have comedy videos on there, stand-up and sketch videos.
But right now, let's take a listen to Mr. Blue Sky from ELO, or Electric Light Orchestra.
For our 1,000th
Electric Light Orchestra. Here we go.
Why you had to hide away for so long? Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky's up there waiting, and today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky,
Mr. Blue Sky.
The Electric Light Orchestra. It's really just...
It's got a lot going on there.
It's so good. You know, I feel like the band name the band really lives up to its name with this song,
right?
You know?
Electric Light Orchestra. Yeah, but not obviously there's electronic sounds and orchestral sounds,
strings,
but also it's Mr. Blue Sky. It's like bringing in the light too, you know.
Sure, yeah, but there's these operatic voices going on as well. I mean, it's got it all, you know. And man, even in that one section, hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. You know, that the bass line in that part is really cool. It's got this rhythm to it. Boom, boom, ba-doom, doom.
No,
doom.
but I think what's cool about that part, because that part has two sections, and the first part is kind of a straight thing, and the second part, the drums are still playing the straight beat, but the bass is what's giving it a different feel. You know, do not discount the bass. It really can be.
I also like the quality.
Not only can be doing a cool line, but it could also really change the feel of the
I also
song.
like the quality of the bass. It's not too boomy, and I think for a reason you need to give a lot of space. There's a lot going on in the song.
There's a lot going on in the song.
And so it's just right, you know.
Sure, but also this was, definitely. And let's see, what else we got in this? I love that end, like that coda ending, it's really cool. It kind of is everything settling down, and almost it seems like they were kind of inspired maybe by Rhapsody in Blue on that one violin part.
Yeah. It's an interesting song because it's very catchy, yet what is the chorus, quote unquote? There's not really a chorus per se.
Well,
I mean, there are repeating lines in the song.
Well, it's not that kind of a song,
but it's not like there's a chorus that repeats. I mean, there's a couple things that have the same lyrics, but the main verses, they had different lyrics each time, I mean,
well, that's not the structure of it. It's not how the structure.
But I think that's what's cool about the song. It's not structured like a typical pop song, yet it is very catchy and pop oriented,
Almost the parts that you think would be where a chorus might come in, it's like there was like a guitar instrumental
almost
part,
similar to maybe like Bohemian Rhapsody in that sense where,
well, not exactly. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody was more through composed. This had, recapitulations,
Sure.
I mean, in that same way, it has a kind of a classical kind of structure to it, almost kind of maybe like a sonata form, I think.
Sure.
If I'm getting that right at all, I'm not sure.
It's very...
But it does have these recapitulations.
The song is very well produced, and so is the whole album. If you don't know the whole album Out of the Blue, it's really great. It's interesting listening to this on headphones, because when we got the album when we were in high school, we got the CD, and we would listen to it on our stereo without headphones on.
Right,
so
or in our car.
Or in our car, yeah, we would listen to it in our car.
We had a
1986 Toyota Camry.
Right, we didn't even have a CD player that was in the car,
We had to get one of those...
properly, we had to get one of those cassette tapes
adapters
that would attach to a pocket CD player, or not a pocket CD player per se, but
like
a portable
CD player. But it would, and then you plug the other thing into the cigarette lighter, and so we would. I guess we didn't really get the full scope of listening with headphones with this song. I have more recently listened to it with headphones, but when we were younger and when we got this album, we wore out the album, as they say.
But,
we would listen without headphones, and that's a different experience to get.
Right. Well, also listening to a car, when you're listening in a car, it doesn't lie to you. It doesn't lie to you.
It doesn't, yeah.
But I will tell you, which is cool about this song is it's so far-reaching. I kind of feels like, to me, it bridges the generational gap, the gaps between generations, because I was, not too long ago, teaching an after-school program, music, to some students, high school students, and at the beginning of every class, I brought in a song for them to listen to that they may not have heard, and I brought this song in, and they were really digging it. They're really into this song. Compared to the other songs that I played for them, this was one of them that they were like, "Whoa, this is really awesome."
It is a great song, and
I think even at the time, I'm not sure how critics reacted to Electric Light Orchestra at the time.
I think they thought they were somewhat kind of playing off of Beatles.
I mean,
they
Jeff
thought,
Lynne.
They thought
who
they
was the
were.
lead-
I guess
leader of
they
this.
they kind of critics often looked at them like they were all pop and not enough substance, basically. You know,
Right, but I think more recently, a reprisal of Electric Light Orchestra has revealed that people, in fact, really love them and critically
you know,
too.
I'm going to just tell a quick anecdote about that, and then we'll end the video. But before I do that, I just want to let you guys know that really the whole album is very good. They're like different movements throughout the whole album, especially
it is.
I would say maybe the B side of the record.
Right, they actually kind of lead into each
or
other.
not the B side, but
a lot of the songs
side
lead
two of
into
the
each
record.
other.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's got a lot of hits on it, like "Sweet Talking Woman" and "Turn to Stone."
Well, the whole album.
The whole album is full of hits. But anyway, what I want to say was, this guy I used to work with, he had gone to see Electric Light Orchestra live, and apparently, like Jeff Lynne, he thought that those critics from the '70s that kind of didn't approve of Electric Light Orchestra as much.
Even though the fans clearly loved them, this album was a #1 album, I believe.
Apparently, it kind of maybe got to him a little bit, you know, and that's why, kind of in the mid '80s, he kind of started just working on stuff as a producer.
Well, that's not true. In the late '80s,
he
did
joined the Traveling
Wilburys.
Wilburys, but anyway, my friend saw them live in the mid 2010s, and he saw him at like a huge arena or stadium and just a roaring crowd, and Jeff Lynne came out almost sort of teary-eyed saying, "Wow, I didn't know you guys really cared about us that much," you know? And he said it was just a very heartwarming moment that Jeff Lynne realized, wow, my music really did connect with people all these years, you know, and these critics were wrong, you know?
Well, I think, the late '70s had a lot of changes going on musically. I mean, I think, maybe Electric Light Orchestra at the time was seen as not pushing the envelope like, in terms of style goes, with, punk was it was a big thing.
And then there was the new
and then
wave.
the beginnings of like post-punk, and then the beginnings of new wave were happening. And
right, but,
so I can see some critics not,
well,
not,
this is mid to late '70s, you know?
right. Well, but they're not finding. Well, same with punk actually. But I think I can see them. I can understand why they might say it. I don't agree with them at all.
But they might not think
they were
it's...
being. I think they were being very narrow-minded in their
outlook.
But
as one of our favorite singer-songwriters of all time, Bart Davenport, says, to paraphrase him, he said, "I think there's a lot of great stuff to explore within those retro sounds. Still, you don't need to limit yourself to always trying to expand the horizons of what, I guess, quote unquote, new music is. There's a lot of discoveries that can be made in an older style.
I think all you just got to do is, as they say, do you, be yourself, just be genuine to what you like. And I think that'll produce the best stuff. And
Sure.
I think that's what Jeff Lynne was doing. And clearly this was producing one of the best.
And it had a lot of longevity, so
anyway, I think that'll do it for our reaction
to
on this
Mr.
tune.
Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra. If you like what you heard and saw today, and you want to see more from us, please hit that subscribe button and ding that post notification bell to find out about more Max and Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.